Championship ATP Tour. It's the final match, and you'll see it today at 5 o'clock here on ESPN.
Is Mooster still playing, Bob?
Mooster is not playing. Andre Agassi beat him, and so it's Agassi and Michael Chang in the final match this afternoon. Tomas Mooster, unfortunately, did not win yesterday.
Looks like Terry Labonte might be closing up just a little bit on Dale Earnhardt.
But Earnhardt has clinched the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. So he goes out of here with a bonus of 10 points this afternoon.
I wonder if the pain right now is just getting unbearable, and Earnhardt saying, okay, I've got all the bonus points that I can get. I think I ought to fall back and run about 5th or 6th and just relax a little bit.
Now, he wants to win a race.
What do you think, Ned?
I agree with Bill. I think he wants to win the race. I don't think maybe he's going to push it that hard to be able to do it as hard maybe as he's been pushing it, but I think that he has an awfully good race car out there, and I think he's going to drive that thing just as hard as he needs to keep those guys at bay.
No question that Terry Labonte is closer than he has been in a while. Dale Jarrett is not too far behind as they enter the inner loop once again on the 52nd lap.
See Hud Strickland back out there. He's 44 laps down.
But, you know, looking at what Rusty's little deal over here, little spin, it really put him in a bad position. You know, that's the thing about how critical track position is and what the interval is from where he's running right now to the leader, Earnhardt.
Right now, Rusty Wallace back in 15th spot was running second. Meanwhile, we're on board with Kenny Schrader. There's the 18 car, 99 car. Pretty good race in front of you, Ned.
Yeah, there's a lot of good cars that are running. Schrader, like I said, the 18, the 99, the 7 car of Jeff Ledine, Morgan Shepherd, Sterling Barley, Rusty Wallace, Butch Leipziger. A lot of cars running very close together there for position. And here's Bobby Labonte. He wants a position.
And he takes 9th. Bobby Labonte goes into 9th, and Ernie Irvan is smoking badly coming off of corner number 11.
No, he's blowed up. That's what he is.
Now he's still running.
Barely.
Well, you wonder if he might have overread it. Larry McCrindle said they had to be careful.
Looks like he's losing fluid right there.
And there's a crash as Rusty Wallace has gone into the tire barrier in turn number 11.
And the car is hung up on the curb. The rear wheels are not on the ground. He cannot back it up.
The car is high-centered. Could it have been from the fluid from Ernie Irvan's car?
Well, who knows? Could have been, but who knows?
In any case, Rusty Wallace's problems now are compounded. He lost track position earlier, and there's still some fluid coming out of that 28 car.
Yeah, he's smoking heavily as he comes into the inner loop here, Bob.
So we have a 3rd overall caution. Jerry Punch has more.
Well, Rusty just told the crew I got into something coming out of the 28 car, and I came in the corner, and it wasn't even about to turn. I just skidded right into the wall. So it said something just came suddenly gushing out of the 28 car, and I happened to be the one that found it.
Fortunately, Rusty is right by the pit entrance, so he easily is going to be able to get in. Let's listen. This is turn 10. There he sees the smoke ahead, going to turn 11. Made it to pit road, but there's a lot of damage on the left front of the Miller Ford. Ernie Irvan has gone behind the wall. Meanwhile, a couple of cars, Ricky Rudd and Hud Strickland, have gone back on the racetrack after many laps in their respective garage areas. So the Miller crew now trying to salvage the 2-car, Rusty Wallace, into the tire barrier in turn 11 on lap 53 here at the Bud at the Glen. We are under caution here at Watkins Glen. Rusty Wallace nosed into the tire barrier, turn number 11. They've got the hacksaws and all other kinds of equipment out as Rusty sits and waits until he can get the car back out there. Here is Ernie Irvan coming through corner number 11, and this was just ahead of Rusty Wallace.
But there's several cars between Ernie and Rusty. There see several cars coming through, and then all of a sudden Rusty just, boom.
Oh,
man.
Some heavy contact. And now a lot of pit stops are being made. Here's Bill Weber.
Terry Labonte Chevrolet is just a little loose. They've made a tire pressure adjustment. They're going to do a 4-tire change here and put all the fuel they can in. They cannot Watkins. This team is rooting for cloud cover. Terry says his car would be better if the skies were totally overcast. He's on his way down pit road, headed toward Jerry Punch and Dale Earnhardt's pit.
Well, a full pit road, if you look up pit road, Earnhardt's crew changing right side tires, and likewise Bill Weber. They cannot make it all the way. By calculations with David Smith, they can run 34 laps to put them at lap 88, which means they will run out of gas 2 laps to the end. Likewise, Jeff Gordon will run out 2 laps early as Earnhardt, and now Husker from Terry Labonte. Here is Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Dale Jarrett, and they all shuffle back to turn 1.
And Dale Jarrett evidently had some trouble on that pit stop because those guys are high-fiving, congratulating each other. There we see Don Hall saying, "Atta boy, way to do it."
And so, Bill, basically the pit strategy that everybody thought of earlier is out the window because of this caution.
Totally. You know, everybody was going to try to run to 30 laps, then lap 60, then be able to go to the end of the race. But now, with this in the deal, it's going to take a totally different turn for the end of the race.
It looks like a splash of gas with 5 or 6 laps to go now.
If anybody can do the wind, they'll win the race.
Well, Terry Labonte has historically this season ran longer than anyone else on fuel, and they said they positively cannot make it. So if he can't make it, I would think that no one can make it.
Bill Elliott has to go. Thank you so much for being here. Great
Thanks,
job.
guys. Appreciate you having me.
We'll see you in Michigan next week in the car, I hope.
I'll be in the car next week for certain.
Get better, boy.
Thanks, guys.
Bill Elliott has joined us for the first 54 laps of this race. Caution out, they're working up at turn number 11. We'll take a look at it once again from the onboard camera of the roof cam as Rusty came through corner number 10, saw the smoke up ahead, and got the tire barrier in corner 11.
I mean, he started to get back on the gasoline, so there was something there that Rusty hit.
They're still working on the car on pit road. We'll be back to Watkins Glen in a moment. Still under caution here at Watkins Glen International, the Bud at the Glen. 55 out of 90 laps have been completed. We're under the caution because of a crash involving Rusty Wallace. Just check on how the crew is doing. Here's Jerry.
Well, Robin Pemberton, Billy Wilbert, and the crew trying to work on what's left of Killer. That's the nickname for this Miller Ford Thunderbird that killed him out in Sonoma. But right now, the car has got a huge problem in the front end. The chassis, part of the front frame section has been bent. The wheels are towed out big time in the front. Now, Rusty told the crew a moment ago after the accident, and I was just checking with him to make sure they heard what we heard. Rusty said, "I think I hit some fluid out of the 28 car," but as NASCAR has checked, they didn't see anything on the racetrack, and you got to wonder maybe something broke in the front of the car, and Rusty just began to skate abruptly head on into the wall, and that may be why the front end is so heavily damaged. Anyway, he still sits here. They're trying to get the car fixed. As we go back and check in with Bill Weber, I think he's standing by near the Ernie Irvan car.
And Jerry standing here with Ernie, who's a previous winner here. Obviously, you're the hottest guy on the circuit. This is disappointing, Ernie. What happened?
I was the hottest guy because this transmission was smoking real bad. It got real hot. And, we lost third gear first and started to learn how to drive it without third gear. And, then all of a sudden something else broke in it. So, I'm the second transmission I broke this year and never broke any before. So, doing something wrong.
Road courses are tough, aren't they?
Oh, they are. These guys built a brand new car here, and it was really good. And this Texas Avalon Ford was, I think, was performing fairly well. I don't know if we were going to be able to win the race, but we were right there and with the lap speeds we needed.
Hey, Bill.
Okay, they're working on his car to get him back out, get some points.
Hey, Bill.
Yes, Benny.
Tell Ernie that he needs to have Robert detune that Yates motor a little bit. All that horsepower bad on the powertrain.
I'll pass that along to him.
All right, thanks.
Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, guys, the crew chiefs down here of all the lead cars almost a moment ago said in unison, it was like they all keyed their radios at the same time and said 2 words: conserve fuel.
That seems to be the magic word right now, conserve.
But then we see Jeff Bodine is leading. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's look at this on the AutoZone off-track time stop.
Gordon picked up a position in the pits, and we talk so often about how important track position is, and you can get it or lose it in the pits.
That's right, and Dale Jarrett went in the pits running in the third spot, and now he's, what, 6th, man?
Yeah, he's in 6th place. Of course, as you mentioned, Jeff Bodine didn't stop, but Bobby Labonte made a great pit stop. He gained a lot, too, but you can see what the difference was on Jarrett and Gordon there.
And Dale Jarrett had a better time on his other stop. At 48.9, so this time he was just a couple of seconds slow, but that was 4 spots on the racetrack.
That is correct. Jeff Bodine